The next one's from Ryan Bendick. The subject is the
Tremendous
Giant.
name.
Hey guys, what were some of your favorite Giant Big Show bumps? I loved it when Henning hit the perfect plex or Kevin Nash powerbombing him.
Yeah, I mean,
favorite Big Show bumps.
that when Henning perfect plexed him was definitely memorable, and Goldberg jackhammering him was the first time was
Goldberg
memorable.
jackhammer was the best one, and Nash powerbombing him, and he almost broke his neck. But that's.
But even that was. I was gonna say, even in the last few years, matches he's had with Brock, Show will bump all over the place for Lesnar. Big suplexes, throwing him out of the ring and everything. So he's always been a guy.
You got to understand that this was Paul's problem, right? And it's not so much a problem. Is that like back in the day, if you had a Giant, like you would teach him, don't leave your feet. Like Andre the Giant very rarely left his feet. But the problem with Paul is he was a basketball player. So he was an athlete. He could move. He could do, and like when you can move, your just natural inclination when you're an athletic, you just kind of like start taking the bumps.
Right. And he was very young.
Right.
Because he once wanted to do a moonsault, remember?
Right.
Like,
because he was a good athlete. He was just a giant guy. It's like if you look at Paul White's I used to we go work out sometimes on the road, and if there was a gym, we'd go shoot baskets. Because he played college basketball. So he was
South Carolina.
Yeah, he wasn't like he was a 7-footer, but he was like the new age 7-footers, agile. Like the 7-footers used to be just like big lugs and they couldn't move. But
now
he was very athletic. And I think over his career that worked to his detriment because he was willing to take the bumps that he shouldn't have been taking for guys, and it definitely devalued the way the fans perceived him.
Bro, and let me tell you, I can 1,000% relate with that because when I first got into Mexican wrestling, I had like a bodybuilder physique, so I was way bigger than everybody. So everybody was like, okay, your finishing move is going to be a bear hug, okay? Mm-hmm. And everybody's going to submit to that. And I was like,
these are the old school guys telling you this, right?
Right. And the
right. So they like see, he's a muscular guy. We can make some money, yeah.
Right. So young Conan was like, fuck that old man hold a bear hug. I'm going to do some cool shit. And I was always running the ropes, and they were like, no, don't run the ropes. And I was like, fuck that, bro. I can do it. Why not? You're bigger than everybody. But, so I can understand with Paul, him being young and athletic, and he's like, bro, I can do it. What's the big deal? And they're like, no, you don't have to, But when you're young, you know what I'm saying? And your body can do those things, you want to do them.
Yeah, I remember seeing him do a drop kick off the top against Rick Steiner and somebody, and it was just like it was cool that he could do. I think he might have missed it too. It was like, geez, why did they put him up there or why did they set that up in the match if he wasn't even going to hit the move, But
right, it's almost
but here's a perfect example. Like, look at Paul White, and we also had Ron Reese. Okay. And Paul was way more athletic than Ron Reese.
But Reese
was like Ron Reese was kind of like he was like 2 left feet, kind of like dopey, right? But I will tell you this: there was a pool, there was an apartment complex next to Main Event Gym in Marietta where a lot of the guys would stay. A lot of the wrestlers lived in La Park. That's the name of the complex. Canyon lived there, and Kenyon lived there. Kevin lived there. Paul White lived there. Robert, all these guys. So there was a day at the pool, right? And I forget one or the other. Either I think Ron Reese or Paul White lifted Ron Reese over his head in a press in the pool, like he pressed him, and I was like, "Wow, that's that's really really strong, So but he had that freakish strength, and just had it's just I don't know.